The world is full of mysteries hidden in plain sight. Among them is the humble grain of salt, something so ordinary it's often overlooked in its deeper significance. Across cultures, salt has served not only as a flavor enhancer but also as a purifier, a healer, and even a spiritual tool. In Buddhist traditions, salt symbolizes balance, resilience, and purification, extending its influence far beyond the kitchen table. One practice, as peculiar as it is profound, involves placing salt in one's shoes before a journey, a tradition rooted in Zen wisdom and Oriental medicine. What does this simple ritual mean? What can it teach us about controlling our emotions, purifying our path, and walking with purpose in a chaotic world? This essay dives deep into the multifaceted symbolism of salt, offering insights into how such small, deliberate practices can anchor us in the storms of life. Chapter 1: Salt in History and Spiritual Practice. From ancient civilizations to modern times, salt has held a central role in human life. Beyond its culinary uses, it has been prized as a spiritual and medicinal element, revered for its unique properties. 1.1 A brief historical context. Salt has shaped economies, determined trade routes, and influenced cultures. In ancient Rome, soldiers were often paid in salt, hence the term salary. Across Asia, salt symbolized purity and was used in rituals to ward off evil spirits. In Japan, salt is sprinkled at the entrance of homes and temples to cleanse negative energies. This universal respect for salt highlights its power to transcend the mundane and touch the spiritual. 1.2 Salt in Buddhist tradition. In Buddhism, salt is a metaphor for simplicity and resilience. Just as salt preserves food from decay, it represents the strength to preserve one's inner peace amidst life's chaos. The Zen practice of placing salt in shoes is a deeply symbolic act. It absorbs the spiritual burdens of the journey, lightens the emotional load, and serves as a reminder to tread mindfully. Chapter 2: The Symbolism of Salt in Zen Teachings. Salt, though small and seemingly insignificant, carries profound meanings in Zen philosophy. 2.1 Absorption and Letting Go. Salt's natural property to absorb moisture reflects the Buddhist ideal of detachment and release. When we allow salt to carry our worries or burdens, we symbolically lighten our spirits. The act of putting salt in shoes reminds us to let go of past grievances and walk forward with a fresh perspective. Story: The Burdened Fisherman. On a stormy night, a fisherman faced the daunting waves of the sea. He carried with him a bag of salt, a gift from a wise monk, who told him it would protect his spirit. As the storm raged, the fisherman held on to the belief that the salt was absorbing his fear. By dawn, he realized that his calm determination had guided him through the storm, a lesson in faith and resilience. 2.2 Purification and Spiritual Hygiene. Salt is often used to cleanse spaces, symbolizing the removal of impurities. In Zen, life is seen as a path that must be cleared of distractions and negativity. When salt is placed in shoes, it not only purifies the physical steps but also aligns the traveler's spiritual journey with clarity and intention. Chapter 3: Lessons from Nature, Salt as a Teacher. In Buddhist teachings, nature is the ultimate guru, offering lessons through its elements. Salt, as a natural substance, embodies qualities that mirror life's challenges and solutions. 3.1 The Paradox of Salt, Strength in Simplicity. Salt dissolves in water yet remains potent. This paradox teaches us about the balance between humility and strength. Just as salt enhances the flavor of food without overpowering it, we can contribute to the world with quiet strength. Story: The Traveler's Test. A Zen traveler was once challenged by his master to cross a river. The waters were swift, and fear threatened to paralyze him. The master handed him a pouch of salt and said, "Trust in the unseen." The traveler, focusing on each step and the weight of the salt, safely reached the other side. Later, he realized that it wasn't the salt but his mindfulness and faith that guided him. 3.2 Balance as a Path to Liberation. Salt balances the flavors of a dish, much like how mindfulness balances our emotions. In life, too much of anything, joy, sorrow, ambition, or complacency, leads to imbalance. Buddhism teaches that salt symbolizes moderation, reminding us to find the middle path. Chapter 4, Salt and Healing, the Physical and Emotional Connection. Salt has been recognized for its healing properties for centuries. In Zen practices, this healing extends beyond the body to the mind and soul. 4.1 Salt as Medicine. In Oriental medicine, salt is used to draw out toxins and balance the body's energies. Similarly, the act of placing salt in shoes can be seen as a metaphorical cleansing of emotional toxins. Practical tip: try soaking your feet in salt water after a long day. This simple act can relieve physical fatigue while symbolizing the release of emotional burdens. 4.2 Emotional Healing through Rituals. Rituals, however small, have a profound impact on our emotional well-being. The practice of putting salt in shoes before a journey serves as a grounding exercise, aligning our intentions with our actions. Chapter 5, Gratitude and Connection, Walking the Path of Mindfulness. Salt is a product of the earth, a gift from nature that connects us to our roots. Buddhist teachings emphasize gratitude as a path to mindfulness and inner peace. 5.1 Honoring Ancestral Wisdom. Each grain of salt carries with it the legacy of those who mined it, transported it, and used it in rituals. By incorporating salt into our lives, we honor this lineage of effort and wisdom. Story: The Farmer's Gratitude. A farmer, weary from his labor, began the practice of placing salt in his shoes. Over time, he found that this small ritual connected him to his ancestors, who had toiled on the same land. The salt became a symbol of their resilience and his gratitude. 5.2 Practicing Mindful Steps. Buddhism teaches us to walk mindfully, aware of each step and its impact. Salt in shoes is a literal and figurative reminder to tread with purpose, humility, and awareness. Chapter 6, Practical Applications in Modern Life. How can the ancient practice of using salt inspire our modern lives? 6.1 Incorporating salt in daily rituals. Place a small dish of salt at your workspace to absorb negative energy. Use salt water in your meditation practice to symbolize cleansing and renewal. Start your day by sprinkling salt in your shoes, setting an intention for mindful steps. 6.2 Applying the Lessons of Salt. The qualities of salt, resilience, balance, and simplicity, can be applied to everyday challenges. Whether facing a difficult decision or navigating a hectic schedule, these lessons remind us to stay grounded and focused. Conclusion: Salt as a metaphor for life. What can a simple grain of salt teach us? Everything, if we're willing to listen. In its smallness lies its strength, and in its dissolution lies its impact. Salt embodies the principles of balance, resilience, and mindfulness that are central to Zen and Buddhist teachings. As we walk our paths, both literal and spiritual, let us carry the wisdom of salt with us. Let us tread lightly, release our burdens, and find balance in the chaos. For it is in the smallest of acts, like placing salt in our shoes, that we often find the deepest truths. Pause for a moment today. Reflect on what anchors you in life's storms. Add a pinch of mindfulness to your journey, and may each step bring you closer to peace and purpose.